Hello friends, and welcome back to my home. So after my last video where I talked a lot about meeting your own needs and meeting yourself where you're at, I was hit upside the head hit upside the whole body with a week where I have not been able to do anything. And I wanted to share what I have been doing to keep my house going, honor my body with what it needs, where I'm at right now, and really find ways to be extra gentle with myself, because I had realized on the first couple of days that I was beating myself up for not being able to do things. Like, I tried so hard to get up and do things, but I would get up and do the dishes and just be mentally drained. And I was beating myself up for that because I feel like it made me a failure as a homemaker. It made me a failure as a partner and a mother, that I just couldn't do anything. And then I realized that this week happens every single month, and it has for years, and it's just a little more intense now because I'm going through perimenopause. So this week I've been trying to just meet myself where I'm at. And I do still have a few things that I'm trying to keep going, like keeping a load of laundry going during the day, getting my load of dishes washed every day, little things like that. But this week will be all about finding those much gentler ways to meet myself where I'm at and keep life going without feeling ashamed that I can't get it all done. Hopefully this is helpful to some of you if you feel like you also cannot get it all done. Hello, hi, welcome to my channel where my house is a mess half the time. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into the week. There is a heavy pressure in today's world to be constantly on the go. So much so, it makes slowing down feel like a luxury, a forgotten art that we must relearn. So many of us were taught hustle culture, that in order to get anywhere worthwhile in life, you have to sacrifice your time, your well-being, and your mental health in order to have it all. But the older I get, the more I realize how damaging this mindset is. Valuing everything by its monetary worth alone strips away so much art, joy, and worth from our daily lives. And especially in these weeks when the brain fog, full body exhaustion, and executive dysfunction hit hard, I am beginning to realize that slowing down is not just optional, it is imperative. So much of my life has been spent feeling as though I was never doing enough and pushing myself harder, that now, as I am learning to slow down, listen to my body's needs, and allow myself days of rest, there's still a lingering sense of shame about it. A little voice in my head that says, what if I'm not doing enough? I share this not to get sympathy, but in hopes that if you also struggle to rest and have pushed yourself past your breaking point one too many times, you will hear me now. It is okay to do nothing. It is okay to let your body, mind, and emotions rest. The mess can wait. More money can always be made. But your body is the only one that you have, and it's okay to slow down. Before we get into it, I do want to talk about the sponsor of today's video because I'm going to be utilizing them to kind of help me focus and get back on track. And the sponsor of today's video is Headspace, which is a meditation app that specifically focuses on better sleep, meditating, movement, and focus. So obviously it fits right in with taking care of yourself, meeting yourself where you are at. In particular, I have been really needing and loving the focus aspect of Headspace. As someone with ADHD, there is a level of sound that is needed to really help my brain lock in. And this is actually scientific. People with ADHD often need some level of white or brown noise or TV noise or music to stimulate their brains enough so that they are not constantly bouncing around looking for something to provide the dopamine that they need. And Headspace is right there and perfect for that. Headspace is all about science and research, and it has been shown that using Headspace for just 7 days will improve your sleep quality. Using it for just 3 days can improve your focus, and I very, very much need that on weeks like this. I find that I have a lot higher anxiety. I have a little bit harder time falling asleep, and so utilizing Headspace both to kind of calm my brain down for sleep and also provide the background stimulation noise to focus have been so helpful. I also love that Headspace has a section called Wiggle to Wind Down, which is for little kids. As a mom of neurodivergent kids who obviously have also inherited some of the neurodivergence that I have, sometimes we can find it really hard to find ways in which they can calm, get all their wiggles out, and get their little brains ready for bed. They have really loved doing all of the fun things with JJ and Dora as they wind down at the end of the day. It's a really, really cute selection, and even my older kids were getting into it. I noticed the more that we listen to them, the more that they start to play along. So it is really useful if you are a parent. It is really useful if you are neurodivergent and you find that it is hard to focus or sleep or meditate or slow down. Just slow your brain down for 1 minute. In particular, I have noticed that since using Headspace, I have been finding it easier to go to sleep on the nights when I am particularly anxious. Popping on a soundscape before bed has been supremely helpful. It really corrals a lot of the anxious thoughts that I have, the spiraling in bed. It keeps me from grabbing my phone and like swiping through social media as well, because I know I'm listening to something that will help me calm down. So if you would like to try Headspace out for yourself, whether you are seeking to improve your focus, improve your sleep, help your kids wind down at the end of the day, whatever it is, there are so many useful things on this app. You can check the link in my description and get 60 days for free, or you can scan the QR code which is on the screen. Thank you so much to Headspace for sponsoring this video. Now we're going to turn on a little bit of focus, try to get some creativity going, because I am hoping that by drawing out what's in my brain, I can then translate it into words on a screen, because I am still trying to get this book written by June, and right now I don't feel like that's gonna happen. I used to feel really guilty for the days when I felt like all I could do was sit on the couch or lay in bed, but I have realized over time that not every single day can be an ultra productive one, and it's okay to lean in when I need more rest. I started a load of laundry before I settled in to do some digital artwork, and that alone made me feel so much better about needing this day off, so to speak. The laundry is always going on these days because it is the low energy task that I can keep up. I am not very proficient in digital art yet because the response of the stylus is not what I always expect it to be. The precision of where the tip of the stylus is on the paper doesn't always make sense to me, but I am learning, and it's a really fun process. I will admit I did not really like the way that this turned out, and I will have to revisit it later when I know a little more, but it was still worth doing. I feel as though a lot of us are really afraid to share when we have failed. In this modern day and age where everything is recorded and shared and you're expected to know everything and to do everything perfect the first time, that picture was a failure in itself, but it did push me to get back into my writing, which I had been neglecting for a full week. I spent the rest of the evening crafting the third chapter of this novel and doing more research, doing more reading. I recently picked up a book on how to write a romantasy just to help with the structure of the storyline, because it is different from how you might write a historical novel storyline, and I want to ensure that I am hitting my story beats where I need to hit them. Someone asked in the comments if I could share more about my creative writing process and how I've learned what I've learned, so in a future video I would love to talk more about that. But if you are looking to start a novel and you're not sure where you should begin, I would highly recommend opening up a document and writing out all of the ideas you have. Just put in every single idea and then sift through them later to find the good ones, because not everything is going to be a good idea. Once you have dumped all of your thoughts for your novel, look up a story beat line or a plot example outline for the genre you're writing and see if you can figure out a decent plot outline, even if it's just simple. And from there, just remember that the first draft is meant to be awful. It is meant to be crappy. It is okay if it is messy. Let it be messy.
She's looking through stardust, city lights, out wandering and moonstruck, and just wanting the whole thing, the whole damn thing, just wanting the whole thing, the whole damn thing. Magnetized, he's picking out pleasures. He's terrified and burning her letters, and just wanting the whole thing, the whole damn thing. Just wanting the whole thing, the whole damn thing.
I find that it is really important, even in these low energy weeks, to at least get one full workout in. So I do them on a day when I'm feeling like I have a little more mental energy, and they definitely help keep my overall mood and energy higher. On the days when I'm not feeling like I can do a full workout like this, I will at least try to get outside and take a walk or do a couple of rounds around my house, anything to get my legs moving and my blood flowing so I'm not just sitting all day long. I always feel really, really good once I have completed a workout, even if it feels a little bit hard in the middle of it. And I'm really thankful for my trainer. She has put together some really short workouts that I can do in 10 minutes, and I have some longer ones that take about 25 minutes.
Just wanna know
The thing I struggle with most in my lower energy weeks is feeling like everything is piling up, and as you can see here, that is usually quite literally. So I try to pick a task every day that will take a very short amount of time to do, but maybe something that has been waiting for me to complete it. My dresser has been a pile for a couple of weeks now, and it's been bothering me. So since I knew I was going to be spending another day mostly resting and probably in bed, I wanted to clean this up so that I had less visual chaos when I walked into the room. There is an account on Instagram where she goes to her friends' houses and helps them complete projects that they have been putting off for months. And I love that account, and I was inspired to do the same for myself in clearing off my dresser and going through my writing that my parents saved for me because of that account. I will try to remember to link it down below, but just know that often the things we let pile up won't take as long as we think they will in order to complete. All of this paperwork is my old writing from when I was a lot younger, and my mom finally gave it to me because she was clearing out her house, and I've been needing to go through and separate out the things that I really don't need to save anymore from the things that I want to keep. But one of my favorite things is that while I was going through all of these papers, I found the original version of the novel that I'm writing today, 20 years later, and the little title page that I made for it is so cute. I am really glad that I went through these papers and found that. Now that the dresser is cleared off, I finished up the scones. I will link the recipe that I used for these scones down below. It was pretty simple to make and they were incredible. I'm already thinking about making more. They came together pretty quickly and just reminded me how much I love baking and how much I often put it off because I feel like it's not necessary. And honestly, we all deserve a sweet treat once in a while. I mentioned in one of my other videos that I have been trying to consume more content that is physical, whether that be reading more books or looking at magazines, and so I wanted to take the rest of today to just chill out and look at some beautiful magazines, which means that I also wanted to put together a tea tray with my delicious scones. I have been trying to use all of my pretty things more, as I have mentioned, and putting together this tea tray made me realize just how fun it is to set up something just for the pure beauty of it. Now that I have decluttered all of my china, it is so much easier to get to the cups that I actually want to use, and I'm so glad that I did that. If you don't already do this, I highly recommend putting together a special tea tray for yourself, sitting in bed and reading magazines for the afternoon. When I was younger, I probably never would have done this because I would have felt like it was a waste of time, but I'm realizing that there's no use in collecting beautiful things if we don't actually use and enjoy them. I think one of the things I like so much about collecting things that are from the past is they do force me to really slow down and just enjoy what I have and take some rest, look at some beautiful magazines, and allow myself this moment to slow down and breathe and enjoy a sweet treat. That is it from me, my friends. Again, if you would like to try Headspace out for yourself, I do really love them and I think it's worthwhile. You can click the link in my description and get 60 free days to try it out for yourself. I hope, as always, that wherever you are feeling safe and loved, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!